YouTube. There we go. Now you should hear me. There we go. Now what I'm going to give you. Try to put a pile aside for Dave as well. Explain the two in a minute. The first one I gave you, like I said, is based on the CDs. This is the amount of interest we earned off those CDs in 2022, and you can see that at the bottom. Now, the second sheet I gave you is New York, of which okay, she can hear us now. If you take a look, the original balance was one even. Okay? And that was opened in February 6th. We opened this account. February 6th. Take a look right there of how much interest we earned between February 6th and March 8th, because I ran this off today. And that's half of what we earned on our CDs last year. Now, granted, interest rates were lower last year. And the amount last year that we had invested, I think, was about 1.2 versus 1 that so far is invested. So moving over to New York class, plus the higher interest rates, we've doubled the amount of interest coming in. Yeah, Lee and I were looking and we were shocked. In 1 month's time, look how much money we collected right there off the present interest rate. It was fantastic.
And what's for, like, is it going through and like keeping on top of the CDs, reinvesting, or whereas this is, it's easy access?
Yes.
To one, money goes in. Need it
It's accessible when you
Yeah.
need it.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Get stuck. Next thing I wanted to point out, I wanted to talk to you about, Maureen just said that the town clerks just sent it out. Last couple of months, I have met with a couple of other supervisors. And one of the things we were talking about, and I brought it up to you at past meetings, we were talking about the county sales tax. So this is a resolution, as you can see, it's for the town of Clarendon down in the bottom right-hand corner. That's because Dick Moy typed this all up for us. And then he sent it out. I've contacted all the town supervisors. Dick has sent a copy of this to all the town supervisors. And according to Maureen, the town clerks now have circulated to make sure everybody in each of the towns know about it. Dick is also sending it to the village mayors. Because what we would like to do is have all 14 municipalities jump on board and join us on this. Remember what I said before, back in 1996, it was 14% of the tax, sales tax collected. Today it's like 6% because they never changed the number. They just changed the percentage. And we want to go back to that 14% each year of whatever the sales tax is. If it's higher, great. If it's lower, well, whatever the 14% is of whatever the sales tax is of that year, we're looking for 2024. So over the next 2 months, we were hoping that each municipality would agree upon this. When Bridget gets here, I want her to take a perusal of this and see how she feels about it as well. It's very simple. We're not trying to cause anger with the legislature. the county legislature. We just want, fair share. And once again, like I said before, this is not a given. I've got a map on my computer there that shows all the different counties and how much the counties give to each municipality, or if they give anything. And it's almost, I'm trying to guess off the top of my head, I think about 1/3 of the counties in the state of New York do not give any sales tax revenue to the municipalities in their county. So we're lucky we're getting some. I don't want to screw that up, to tell you the truth. But I wanted you to take a look at this. This is something that maybe next month we can address. Like I said, I'd like to have Bridget's blessing on this first. Okay. Ambulance fee, just so that you know about it. We're supposed to pay Monroe $8,000 for the year. Well, they said, I'm glad you walked up. Just talk about Monroe Ambulance. Monroe Ambulance said that they would start April 16th, which is a month from now, because that's the 90 days from when the last town signed on board. I double checked with our 911 center about all the ambulance calls. And I was informed that for Central Orleans County, Monroe has not picked up a single call. It's been all Mercy Flight that have answered the calls. He said there was over 200 calls and there was only 10, 12, something like that, just a little over 10, where Mercy was not able to respond to it and someone else had to pick up that call. So I'm wondering from our attorneys, meaning Jim as well, are we still obligated to pay that full $8,000 for the year 2023 when they haven't done a damn thing for January and February?
Were they the first to call?
No, I don't believe,
That's what they're gonna say.
I didn't ask that question. Good question. I will inquire about that. Fact. They should have the new CD program installed, I do believe. I think they're working on it. I honestly don't know at this time. He's gonna get a report for me and send it to me tomorrow. It just popped in my mind this morning when I was talking over some of this stuff. Okay, sales tax, ambulance fee, but that's what I'd like to find out. If we've gotten absolutely zero, we can't address for the three eastern ones because they've had an existing contract. But for Central Orleans, the 4 towns in Central Orleans, are they responsible for the full amount or percentage? Take the amount, divide it by 12. Yeah. Okay. To let you know also, I'm just trying to watch the time on the clock here because you want time with us. Bridget submitted her bill for ambulance fees for the Zoglin Group because she was very instrumental in the whole process. We also have Jim Bells, the attorney for the town of Albion, his bill as well. Now, one of the agreements we had was, when we were sitting at the table discussing all this, was that the other municipalities agreed that they would chip in some money. In light of, you haven't told. Okay, in light to take care of your bill, immediately, you're going to, we're gonna do a prepay on that. Lee and I were talking about it today, and it's too late to get it into the bills for you. It's like $5,265. So we're gonna pay that. Dick Remley and I, he's getting a hold of Jim Bell. We're gonna take a look at the full amount, and then we're gonna contact the other municipalities. So like, we will receive checks from other municipalities, hopefully, as reimbursement. But that's so we can take care of your bill, clean up everything for you. How much? Jim Bell is the town of Albion. Town of Albion will pay his bill. And then they're gonna do the same thing we are doing. We're gonna go after the other municipalities. We're gonna work out the number and see how much you're gonna owe Albion, how much they're gonna owe us. And then we get the reimbursement. Ask them, I'm sorry. We probably won't get that. I don't know how much we might get out of the 3 or maybe 2 of the eastern towns. But the 4, well, 3 central towns, not including us, the 3 central towns should be willing to contribute to the meeting.
In the future or something like that, is that something that like we could get, in, just in writing from each of the supervisors? Or from just saying, we agree that this is something that we would like, just so that then it just makes it a lot easier after the fact.
I don't.
Right, and hopefully it's not a big deal and they'll just pay it and don't, say, yeah, we agree to that. But, right. Right, right. And I think, do we know what Jim's, just so we have.
No. Dick's gonna get it to me though, and I will let you know.
What calls come in for Central Orleans, they're going to Boga. They call for Boga, and they call from.
I kind of have that feeling only because they're kind of partial.
I'm sure they are, but I'm just, that's what I hear.
I know.
I've never heard them call Monroe. Unless, it's all three ambulances are out. And then I think they call emergency.
Okay, the response I got when I asked, was Monroe called for any of the first calls? Response I got was no. The contract is not in place, meaning we don't have Monroe available for Central Orleans at this time. Mercy is staffing the center battalion, and they're having a meeting tomorrow night to discuss all of this. With one ambulance, 24 hours a day, and two from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is what they told us that they plan to continue as good faith to the community even after Monroe contract is in place. So Mercy is planning on still operating out of the Cova building. Monroe is staging out of the Town of Albion's garage, because the village said no to 2 sites. And the other one will be in Holly. Those are the 2 staging sites for Monroe. So, yeah, Monroe hasn't been called for Central Orleans because they're not here. Contract. So.
But- right.
They should be called. That doesn't give, I don't think it gives them any reason why they shouldn't have at least called Monroe, because there is a contract in place. They're just not stationed here in Central Orleans. So I don't know. How can I speak for someone else's organization?
I don't care who comes to get me, or
Right,
manager,
they're fixed.
but it should be fixed.
I agree.
And right now, Monroe can't provide.
I'm going to pass around something else I had signed us up for. Back last May or June, it kicked in August of 22, which was a solar savings on our electric bill for the town hall and garage, as well as for the street lighting, which are 2 of our electric bills. I am signing us up for a 3rd one, which is for the pump house, because they're also one of the 3 largest electric bills. So I'm just gonna pass this down so you can take a look at it. For the town hall and the garage, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, past 6 months, we're able to save on our electric bill $113. And on the street lighting, we save a whopping $12.68, but I mean, every penny helps. I'm sorry? Yes, we switched that over, I think, 2, 3 years ago. We voted on that. It didn't cost, I think it cost us all of $18. They have all our street lights switched over to LED. Okay, I also have Water District 10. Finally got RD to move. The engineering group, MRB, put together a bid package, which we put into the paper last Friday. It's supposed to be advertised in the Batavia Daily as of today. I did not grab my paper on the way in today, so I don't know if it was advertised or not yet. Anyways, it is also, according to MRB, they have it listed on the Avalon Plan Room, which goes out to all your different contractors. So it's advertised there. It's also advertised In the paper, we are looking for letters March 25th. I think it's a Thursday, where we will open the bids. Now, the fun part of this, 25th, yeah. The fun part of this is in the past, when we did water districts, the engineering firm came up with the general cost of what it should be and put the package out. You know, they have it all broken down, and this project was projected at 1.1 million. That's pre-COVID. That was in 2019. This water district should have been in the ground by now. COVID hit. Everything has gone up. So we're doing everything bass backwards this time around. RD has agreed with it. So what we're doing is we're putting it out for bid. We get the lowest bid. Then the engineers will take a look at it, break it down. Then we'll find out what the debt service will be per parcel or per EDU. Then we're going to have a public hearing so everybody in Water District 10 can come and hear how much of an increase it's going to be. It's going to be an increase. Hopefully it's going to be not that great of an increase. The one good thing is we have them locked in at the original interest rate. So we don't need to play games with interest whatsoever on that. With, you know, interest rates are going up right now. We're getting the lower interest rate, which will be beneficial. The only other thing is, I believe it's going to be over the threshold, and being over the threshold, that means we're going to have to apply to the comptroller to get approval there. Where before it was under the threshold, comptroller said, yep, go ahead. Hopefully it's not going to be like Water District 9, where I made numerous phone calls, some not so pleasant, to the comptroller's office till we finally got a response. So that's Water District 10.
You had said that the engineering firm is going to, review the lowest bid.
Yep.
Will they won't review, just because we won't they're just gonna review the lowest bid, or are they gonna kind of compare the bids and make sure that?
No, they'll compare all the bids, take a look
Okay.
at it, what, you know, so you got dollar to dollar.
Right, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that it wasn't just that they were gonna look at all of them and make sure that we get the correct one. You know, a lot of the times it's gonna be the lowest one, but we just wanna make sure.
No, they'll do a comparison.
Okay.
You can come and watch the opening of the bids if you want to.
Yeah,
Really,
what time on the 25th?
It's enlightening. Okay, what I put in front of you is the last thing I want to cover, and then I gotta turn over to Bridget here. Happens to be on one of the things when Nymir Insurance Inspector was here and took a look at our properties, they recommended that we put in panic buttons for the town clerk and one for up here at the judge's bench in case of anything occurring. And in light of our jury trial that we have had and our special situation we have had, especially last Thursday night, we had another little visit. I had looked these up. They recommended light green buttons. So I took a look, and you see a seed package, any number of them, up to 10 users, is $625 a year. So I contacted, because we are with Amherst Alarms, and I got a hold of Mark here, and I asked him, I said, what, do you have these as well? He said, oh yeah, of course we have. And they're wireless, just like the ones that Green Button has. I wanted to say green light, but that's internet. He goes, yes, we have them as well. So I told him for like $5, because I'm looking at the clerk's office out here on the bench, and other concerns like Shelley, when she's in here on Mondays, Wednesday nights, and she's here until late. She unlocks the front door, and she's the only person in this building. So I was thinking about one back in her office in case she has an issue. She could hit that button for emergency response. Now, with Amherst Alarms, it would include, it would not increase what we pay to Amherst Alarms. Still be the same fee, but to buy the materials, as you can see them right there, and I labeled 5. It could be only 3, which will cut it down a little bit smaller. The initial cost is $1,100 if we were to get 5 buttons. And then that's installation as well. So here, we only pay one time because our yearly fee to Amherst Alarms won't increase at all. It's already under our package. So to me, I don't know, you guys think about it, but I'm kind of siding with Amherst Alarms and get those alarm buttons in here. So Maureen's a lot safer, Shelley's safer. I didn't know about maybe getting one for the assessor if she comes in to meet with somebody at night. I don't know. You guys, what do you think? The alarm goes straight to Amherst. Amherst contacts 911 immediately. Yes, Amherst isn't trust me, they're 24-hour. I like those calls at 1 o'clock in the morning. No, it does not require one, right, Maureen? Court does not require it. Yeah. Well, I just gave him a number of 5. You for 2. 1 for Shelley, that's 3. I was thinking the assessor possibly. Oh, back there? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
They thought if
That wasn't our gentleman, because he was like 3 minutes out behind the building when I was checking the films. Okay. No, I mean the first number 1 gentleman, not number 3. Okay. Okay.
That would kind of cover each area that where people would be meeting with someone or doing something. Maybe. My other question, it says it's a 2-button wireless. So what does that mean? Like,
Wireless, you know what that means,
right,
but the
yeah,
2-button, I
just
don't
was
know.
curious if ambulance, I like, or what,
Accidental.
oh, that you have to hit both of them. Oh, okay.
That sounds reasonable there, yes.
I was just curious. Right, yeah.
The minute you hit those 2 buttons, Amherst Alarm gets that notification immediately and they call 911 to get somebody here. Good question. Yeah, just like our fire alarm system heat sensor that keeps going off out in there. trailer out there. Oh, yeah. Probably a little phone call. I'll give you the. Well, that's one thing, that's the next thing I got right there. 2 more cameras. I wanted to address that also. We gotta get going because Bridge just gotta talk, and here it is, 13 minutes of. Okay, I'll find out about if they are zoned or not. I'll take a look at that for next board meeting. Maybe we can vote on that to bring in that safety, extra safety into the building. The other thing I wanted to point out, because as I was viewing camera footage about last Thursday night, we have no coverage out behind this building. No cameras are on the back of this building at all. They are all around the garage because we always figured if anybody's gonna do any damage, it's gonna be out there, especially like at Fuel Island. But we have nothing on the back. So in talking with Maureen about this for coverage, 1 camera for the back, I spoke with Joe. In our system, we've got room for 4 more cameras. That's what he said. I think there's only 3. Anyways, tomorrow morning, he's coming in here and we're gonna meet and talk about this some more. But I'm looking at ordering 2 more cameras, one that'll go on the front of the building and shoot across the front of the garage. Because that's another area we don't have covered, is in front of the garage. And on DA nights, this parking lot, if you ever drive by on a Thursday night when the DA's meeting, this place is packed. There's cars all the way down to Adrian's. And we can't see what's going on in that area. So we would like to put a camera up on the front of the building, looking across the front of the garage, and the other one to cover the back of the building. Like I was saying Thursday night, the first gentleman, which was no problem, he drove around and back, and I'm watching a timestamp, and he was back there for a good 3 minutes. Then he drove around in front before he walked in the building. So what was he doing out back? I couldn't tell. I checked it, there was no way of telling where he had to park right directly behind the building, which is an area where a couple of employees also park. So they like to check before they walk out the back door in the dark. So once again, we've got all the equipment with the exception of 2 cameras. So I'll find out from Joe tomorrow what the cost would be for 2 more cameras. And I would like to see if we can address that next board meeting too. Okay, any questions on that? I hate the state that we're in, but I don't want anybody getting hurt. Yeah. Especially when you have court going on, stuff we have going on lately in court.
Also a big proponent of the cameras. It's so good. Have those. It just takes out the guesswork.
Okay. At this time then, I'm going to discontinue the board workshop so that we can have attorney-client time. And then I will come back again for the town board meeting. Okay, thank you, everybody. Please turn your mics off. We can go on the break. You guys look too comfortable.